Most Amazon Flex drivers think they're making $20 to $25 an hour, sometimes even more during surge pricing. But what if I told you that after all the hidden costs, your real take-home pay could be closer to $12 or even $15 an hour? This isn't just about gas. It's about a whole host of expenses that silently erode your earnings, leaving many drivers feeling frustrated and underpaid. The sticker price on a flex block is rarely the actual profit you deposit into your bank account. In fact, many experienced drivers overlook critical factors that make a huge difference. We're going to break down exactly how much money disappears from your paycheck before you even see it, and why understanding these numbers is crucial to making flex a genuinely profitable side hustle. But first, let's start with the most obvious and often underestimated expense: fuel. Fuel is the most immediate and tangible expense for any delivery driver. Let's say you take a 4-hour Amazon Flex block for $90. That sounds decent, right? But if that block requires you to drive 80 miles and your car gets 25 miles per gallon, you've just burned 3.2 gallons of gas, at an average of $3.50 per gallon. That's $11.20 gone from your $90 gross pay. Suddenly, your $22.50 an hour block is already down to $19.70 an hour. This doesn't even account for the mileage driving to the Amazon warehouse or back home from your final delivery, which can easily add another 10 to 20 miles. Many drivers don't track these unpaid miles, but they absolutely count towards your fuel consumption and reduce your actual net earnings. It's a silent killer of profits, and it's just the beginning. The next expense is even more insidious because it's less visible. Beyond fuel, every mile you drive for Amazon Flex contributes to wear and tear on your vehicle. Think oil changes, tire rotations, brake pads, and eventually major repairs. The IRS estimates the average cost of driving, including depreciation, at about 70.5 cents per mile for 2026. While you might not feel this cost immediately, it's a real expense that impacts your car's lifespan and resale value. If that 80-mile block adds another $56.40 in maintenance and depreciation costs to your vehicle, your $90 gross pay is now down to $90 to $11.20. Fuel, $56.40. Maintenance equals $22.40. For a 4-hour block, your hourly rate has plummeted to just $5.60. This is where the true cost of driving a lot for Flex becomes painfully clear. But there's another hidden cost that can be even more shocking, especially if you get into an accident. Many personal auto insurance policies do not cover accidents that occur while you're driving for a rideshare or delivery service. This is a critical detail that most new Flex drivers completely overlook. If you get into an accident while on an active Flex block, your personal insurance might deny the claim, leaving you on the hook for thousands in damages. Amazon Flex does provide its own commercial auto insurance policy, but it often has high deductibles and specific conditions. Some drivers opt for a separate commercial policy or a rideshare endorsement on their personal policy, which can add $20 to $50 or more to their monthly premium. If you factor in even $1 per hour for this added insurance cost over hundreds of hours driven, it further chips away at your net earnings. And unfortunately, the expenses don't stop there. Taxes are another significant bite. As an independent contractor, Amazon Flex doesn't withhold taxes from your paychecks. This means you're responsible for paying self-employment taxes, Social Security and Medicare, and income taxes. Many drivers are blindsided by a large tax bill at the end of the year because they haven't set aside money. A good rule of thumb is to set aside 25 to 35% of your gross earnings for taxes, depending on your income bracket and state. Let's revisit our $90 block. If you set aside 30% for taxes, that's $27 immediately gone. Now, from your original $90, after fuel, $11.20, maintenance, $53.60, and taxes, $27, you're actually losing money on that block, ending up with minus $1.80. This is the shocking reality for many who don't meticulously track expenses and proactively save for taxes. But it gets even worse when you factor in time. The 4-hour block pays for 4 hours of delivery time. But what about the time spent driving to the Amazon warehouse to pick up packages? Or waiting in line at the warehouse, which can sometimes be 15 to 30 minutes during peak times? What about the time spent scanning packages, loading your car, or dealing with customer service issues? None of this is directly compensated. If you spend an extra hour on these unpaid tasks for every 4-hour block, your effective hourly rate drops significantly. Our $90 block, which was theoretically 4 hours, now takes 5 hours of your actual time. If we ignore the previous cost calculations for a moment and just consider gross pay, $90 over 5 hours is only $18 an hour, not $22.50. This unpaid time is a silent income killer, yet most drivers simply accept it. However, there's a common rookie mistake that amplifies this problem. The single biggest mistake new Amazon Flex drivers make is accepting the base rate offers. Amazon often presents blocks at the lowest possible pay, sometimes as low as $18 per hour, especially during non-peak times. While it might be tempting to grab any block, accepting these low offers almost guarantees you'll be operating at a loss once all expenses are factored in. Imagine our previous scenario, a 4-hour block for $72 instead of $90. After fuel, maintenance, and taxes, your net pay would be even further in the red. Experienced drivers understand the importance of surge pricing and waiting for blocks that pay $25, $30, or even $35 plus per hour. Patience is key, but it also means you might not always get blocks when you want them, which leads us to the next challenge: inconsistent income. Unlike a traditional job with a predictable paycheck, Amazon Flex income can be highly inconsistent. Some weeks you might snag multiple high-paying surge blocks, making great money. Other weeks, blocks might be scarce, or only low-paying offers are available. This unpredictability makes it challenging to budget and plan financially. You might find yourself driving more miles than planned just to hit your income targets, further increasing your expenses. This inconsistency can lead to a cycle where drivers feel pressured to accept any available block, regardless of the pay, just to make ends meet, which then perpetuates the cycle of low net earnings. It's a trap many fall into, but there are strategies to mitigate this, including understanding the optimal times to drive for your market. To truly maximize your Amazon Flex earnings, strategic block selection is paramount. Don't just accept the first block you see. Monitor the app for surge pricing, which typically occurs during peak demand times like evenings, weekends, holidays, or bad weather. These blocks pay significantly more, sometimes up to $30 to $40 plus per hour, making it far easier to cover your expenses and still turn a profit. Also, learn which warehouses in your area tend to offer better routes or higher paying blocks. Some warehouses might have shorter routes, less dense delivery areas, or simply higher demand. This requires a bit of trial and error, but the data you collect from your own driving experiences will be invaluable. Remember, your time is money, and not all blocks are created equal. The next crucial step is meticulous expense tracking. This might sound tedious, but tracking every single mile driven and every dollar spent is non-negotiable for an Amazon Flex driver. Use mileage tracking apps like Stride or Herder, which also help categorize other expenses like gas, oil changes, and even a portion of your phone bill if used for work. These apps automatically log your mileage for tax deductions, which can significantly offset your taxable income. Keeping accurate records helps you calculate your true net hourly wage and identify areas where you might be losing money. If you don't track your expenses, you'll never truly know what you're making, and you risk a nasty surprise at tax time. This diligence is the difference between a side hustle that makes you money and one that just keeps your car busy. But what about the less obvious deductions? Many Flex drivers miss out on valuable tax deductions that can put more money back in their pocket. Beyond mileage, you can deduct a portion of your phone bill, car repairs and maintenance, car insurance, tolls, professional fees, and even some home office expenses if you use a dedicated space for administrative tasks related to Flex. Keep all receipts and meticulous records. Consulting with a tax professional specializing in independent contractors can help ensure you're taking advantage of every legal deduction available. For example, if you spend $100 on new tires, that's a direct business expense. If your phone bill is $70 a month and you use it 50% for Flex, you could deduct $35. These small deductions add up, significantly reducing your taxable income and increasing your net take-home pay. But there's a final, often overlooked strategy for boosting your overall income. While Amazon Flex can be a decent side hustle, it's often more effective when combined with other income streams. Relying solely on one app can leave you vulnerable to slow periods or policy changes. Consider diversifying by also signing up for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, or even TaskRabbit. This allows you to cherry-pick the highest-paying opportunities across multiple platforms, maximizing your time and minimizing dead spots. If Flex isn't offering good blocks, switch to DoorDash. If Instacart has a high-paying batch, grab it. This multi-app strategy is what many full-time gig workers use to create a more stable and higher income. It's about being flexible with your flexibility and not putting all your eggs in one basket. This approach can smooth out the income inconsistencies we discussed earlier and truly boost your overall earnings, making your time on the road more financially rewarding. But there's one last piece of advice. The key takeaway is that your gross pay on Amazon Flex is never your net pay. Understand your true cost per mile, track every expense, and be strategic with block selection. Your car is your business, and treating it as such will prevent unpleasant financial surprises. If you're wondering how to choose between different delivery apps to maximize your earnings, check out our video on DoorDash versus Uber Eats. Which pays more? Next. And if you found this breakdown helpful, consider subscribing for more realistic side hustle strategies to boost your income.